$300 billion. However, British Ocean Survey claims that the wreck belongs to them. So, what is the relationship between this 800-year-old shipwreck and Britain? Why is it so precious? This is a channel about real projects. If you are willing to support me, why not click to subscribe? Let us discover more interesting projects together. The Maritime Silk Road is an important trade route in global trade, which originated in the 13th century. At that time, Europe and India had a strong demand for Chinese silk and porcelain, and many Chinese and European merchant ships traveled continuously to and from the Maritime Silk Road. But at that time, people's navigation technology was far less developed than it is now. Many merchant ships sank in the sea due to weather disasters or backward navigation technology. The Rainbow merchant ship is one of them. When people discovered the sunken ship during the survey of the South China Sea, they were stunned by Many merchant ships sank in the sea due to weather disasters or backward navigation technology. The Rainbow merchant ship is one of them. When people discovered the sunken ship during the survey of the South China Sea, they were stunned by the sight. The ship was loaded with a lot of precious treasures, including 6 boxes of silver, more than 300 tons of tin ingots, and countless Chinese treasures. Porcelain made in ancient times. These items are extremely valuable because they were rare items on the Silk Road at the time, and they are even more precious now because they are rare. If these remaining treasures were sold on the market today, it would be worth enough to buy a small city. However, no one thought that the ownership of the sunken ship would become the focus of disputes between the Chinese company and the British company. So, what exactly happened? When the wreck of the Rainbow merchant ship was discovered in the early stage, China's ocean salvage technology was very backward. In desperation, China could only choose to cooperate with the British company to jointly salvage this priceless ancient merchant ship. In August 1987, the British Ocean Survey Company signed a cooperation agreement with China on the salvage of sunken merchant ships. Since there was no relevant experience in China at the time, most of the work for this cooperation was done by British companies. China has provided corresponding reasonable remuneration to the British Ocean Survey Company. The cooperation in the salvage of the Rainbow merchant ship lasted 9 months, and China spent a total of 300 million yuan on the British Ocean Survey Company. Under the cooperation of China and the UK, the British Ocean Survey Company successfully salvaged a large number of precious cultural relics, including more than 1,000 precious porcelain products. However, the British company claimed that the wreck belonged to the East India Company, and therefore the British were entitled to a share of the wealth contained therein. In the subsequent processing, the British auctioned these precious porcelain goods, and finally obtained a huge income of $20 million, and also won the honorary title of the most successful treasure hunter at that time. The Chinese Cultural Heritage Administration was unable to participate in this auction, which made China feel a great shame at that time. But China at that time was unable to sanction the misconduct of the British Salvage Company. At the same time, China's laws on the protection of marine cultural heritage are also blank. In order to make up for this huge loss, China decided to terminate its cooperation with the United Kingdom, and can only rely on its own ability to salvage the sunken ship and develop and upgrade its own ocean salvage technology. So how is the salvage work for this undersea treasure going now? In the subsequent salvage process, China independently completed the mining of this underwater treasure. With continuous mining, these seabed treasures have provided strong evidence for Chinese archaeology. After the research of the sunken ship by Chinese archaeologists, it was found that this wooden merchant ship was made of mason pine wood unique to southern China, which has a good anti-corrosion effect in water. Therefore, this confirms that this ancient merchant ship is not the Rainberg of the East India Company as the British believed, but an ancient merchant ship belonging to the Southern Song dynasty in China. Now Chinese archaeologists named the sunken ship Nanhai No. 1. Now, with the continuous deepening of China's salvage work, China has spent a total of 500 million yuan to salvage the sunken ship. In addition to the porcelain that was snatched by the Ocean Survey Company in the early days, there are more than 80,000 pieces of ancient porcelain in the entire shipwreck. In addition, there are precious metals such as gold, silver, and copper used by ancient nobles. Among them, the gold in